Hello, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Ron, and thank you for stopping by. I thought this might be the perfect time to finally show off my new YouTube studio setup and perhaps give you some ideas of your own for your own studio setup, or just give you a look behind the scenes if you're ever curious about the gear and the equipment that I'm actually using. Let me just start by saying that the camera I was using for the past 2 years was a Canon EOS Rebel SL2, and it's a great little crop sensor starter camera for about $500. I believe Canon discontinued this camera, but you can still find some retailers still selling it last time I checked. I still have the Canon Rebel SL2, as you can see, it's behind me here. And it's still used for some of my run and gun type videos. It's a great little throw in your bag starter type camera. If you just want to start filming right away, I believe Canon replaced it with a Canon Rebel SL3, which can shoot 4K video, something the SL2 just couldn't do. I recently switched to the Canon 6D Mark II with a Canon EF 28mm f1.8 USM lens for my indoor studio videos. It's just a better picture from what I was using before. Having a lens that can go from f1.8 aperture setting is nice and gives you some really nice bokeh, but I'm currently setting my aperture to f2.8 at the moment. This keeps me in focus, really nice, while giving just a little bit of blur in the background. I'm also shooting at 24 frames per second. My shutter speed is set to 1/50th of a second. I'm shooting these videos at 1080p because they're just going to be used for YouTube videos, and it simplifies and speeds up the entire editing process. I've got a big bay window here behind me that brings me to my next item I'm using for this studio. It's a blackout curtain. Basically, the curtain behind me blocks out all the light coming into the window behind me. I really need this because I wanted to be able to shoot videos during the day, and sometimes it was just too bright in the room when the sun's shining into the window early morning and mid-afternoon. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know all my previous videos were shot kind of from a side angle. Well, this was because the footage just didn't look very good shooting directly into and toward the window during the day. Everything would just get all washed out in the footage. I'm hanging the blackout curtain off a Manfrotto 032B auto pole using some zip ties. If you're not familiar with these poles, they can basically mount anywhere without the need for additional hardware. The pole can be extended from floor to ceiling or between two walls with its single action locking cam. The pole itself is made of a 45.4mm diameter tubing, and it's painted black. It's extremely sturdy. You can hang lights off of this, mics off the poles. I'm using the auto pole because the original curtain and the rod didn't extend the full length of the wall, and I wanted to completely block out the sunlight from the window behind me. It's nice because these poles can easily be moved or taken down without any damage to your wall. The pole that I have goes from 6.89 feet and fully extends and goes out a little over 12 feet or 145.7 inches. I also have two Matthews Manalini clamps hanging off the auto pole and two Kupo 12-inch baby stand extensions hanging off the auto pole as well to bring the lights out away from the curtains just a little bit. And I can also mount additional lights off the 1/4-20 adapters as well. Then for my lighting, I'm simply using some basic softbox lighting. Nothing fancy here. There's a ton of lighting options out there. One of the more popular lights is the Aperture 120D, but I don't think you need to spend $700 on your lighting, so I'll leave links below to some cheaper lighting options. And for my microphone, I'm using the Rode video mic and studio boom kit. It's just hanging here, just out of view of the camera when I'm filming. I'm also using some new background lighting, like the Amped & Company neon desk lights you see behind me here, and two antique vintage style lights hanging behind me as well. This just gives a little more character and charm to the studio setup. Again, I'm going to put links to all the gear that I mentioned in the video below, so feel free to check those out. And one more thing that I did want to mention is, as you can see behind me, I still have my FPV drones here behind me, and you can see the boxes down here with the DJI gear. I've been meaning to get those out for a while. The weather's still not fully summer weather. We got a lot of rain here on the weekends, and that's really when I get the time to take these out and fly them. I'll be honest with you, I'm definitely a little bit nervous about crashing these guys. I kind of want to pick up where I left off last season. The weather's just starting to break, so stay tuned for those videos as well. Cross your fingers. I'm hoping they'll be more successful than the last time I gave this a shot. And that's really it. If you got any value out of this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. It's always appreciated. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell for future video notifications. So until next time, take care, happy flying, and remember, we got this.